Yeah, I would say number one, the people that you work with. You know, we as coaches, we talk to other coaches. You go to coaches conventions and you share stories, and you know, every time that I go out and talk to other coaches, you know, I almost feel guilty for the opportunity that I get being around Coach Sweeney every day. And you know, he gets the best out of his coaches, he gets the best out of his players, and he does it in a way that, you know, makes you want to do well for him because of everything that he does for other people. And then the second thing I would say is just the support that we have here at Clemson from top down, you know, from our board of trustees to President Clements to our AD, Dan Radakovich, to, you know, there's an alignment of power that is very, very powerful. And we've been able to see that. And it's not always that way. And so when you have it, man, you want to take advantage of it and you want to continue to build on that, and that's really where we are right now. And I think we got a coaching staff and a group that is excited where we are and wants to continue to improve and continue to climb that mountain and be special.
Coach, you mentioned how well you recruited over the years. You've got your first early signing period coming up. I imagine you're in favor of that, but what are your thoughts on that, and what kind of challenges that present this time of year as you're trying to prep for the playoff?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, I know a lot of us were pushing for the early signing date, and now that we're going through it, right now there's no exact formula. You know, we're talking to other college coaches, asking them, you know, kind of how they're doing things and kind of figuring out as we go. I know we've had some crazy schedules as coaches, a little bit more aggressive in December while you're trying to also have bowl practice and do those type of things because you're going to have so many guys sign here in December. But I think it'll be really beneficial for us in January when it's time to go out. We kind of know what our class looks like. May have a few guys left, but really have a chance to go focus on some of the younger guys and get a good plan for that. But I think we got to kind of go through it to kind of figure out, you know, how to best go about it next year. But so far, it's been fine for us. I think the biggest challenge is for programs where they have a staff change. I think that looks to be a very, very big challenge, and I'm not sure if everybody really took that into account whenever they were pushing for the December signing date. But it's interesting and something we'll continue to watch, and I'll be interested to see, you know, how many guys around the country sign on the 20th.
Jeff, do you sometimes feel like you and Tony are a married couple all the time?
Yeah, we're definitely feel like we're co-parenting here with the Clemson offense. You know, it's been special. And Tony, I mean, it goes back to our relationship, and I like to joke with people and say when Tony and I were in school here, you know, you actually had stretch partners at practice. Now everything's individual stretches. But I mean, I can remember many afternoons where we're, you know, having talks with each other about what we want to do in life after football. Yeah. And if somebody would have walked up, if Coach Rick Stockstill would have walked up to us at that point and told us that we would be coordinating the Clemson offense, you know, in 10 or 12 years from now, I'm not sure if we'd have believed that, but you know, it's been awesome. I mean, who you work with and who you work for and who you work with, I think are two key things to your success and also your enjoyment of going to work. And I mean, we just have a great chemistry. I think it's awesome that we have so many coaches on our staff that played at Clemson. 4 of our 5 full-time coaches on offense all played at Clemson. And, you know, I think that's rare at this level. And also when you start counting in our support staff, you know, that number is in the double digits. And so, you know, we take a lot of pride in that. And it's been awesome. But yes, we know what each other's thinking. We can finish each other's sentences. And it's a lot of fun.
So you say that you talk to a lot of coaches around the country. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages of having a co-offensive coordinator instead of kind of heading the show by yourself?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not to say that it could work everywhere. I think the reason that it works here is because of the environment, number one, and also the relationship between Tony and myself that went back a long ways. I think if you had 2 people that maybe didn't know each other coming into a environment, it probably would be even more of a challenge. But you know, for us, I think the other thing that Tony and I try to take a lot of pride in is to make sure that it's not about ourselves, and to make sure it's about our players. And I think, unfortunately, sometimes coaches are the biggest promoters, promoting themselves and what they're accomplishing. we try to take a lot of pride in, it's a lot like Coach Sweeney. I mean, he's a very selfless leader, and for everything that he's accomplished, he's one of the most humble coaches that I know and that I've been around. And we try to do that, and I think we take a lot of pride in offensively. We've got a lot of playmakers. The last few years we've had a lot of playmakers, and we've had very few issues with guys being selfish. And so we hope that maybe we can model that for our guys. And if we can do that as a coaching staff, I think that's a positive. But it's fun. We've enjoyed it, but I'm not saying it's the easiest thing. But I think the advantage for us is, with Tony's background and knowledge in the running game, and hopefully my experience in the passing game, we can manage our time very well and split it up. And that's really, whenever Coach Sweeney presented it, we wanted to look at it as an advantage, maybe in our game planning, in our prep, and then also, we got very good coaches in that room that also have a lot of input. And it's really not just Tony and I putting together the game plan. There's really about 10 people that are heavily involved in the game plan each week.
I know this is an opportunity for maybe some younger guys or guys that aren't playing as much to kind of get some work in. Any of those that have stood out to you?
Yeah, I think later in the year, some of these younger guys, are starting to get in their groove a little bit. I think a guy like Cornell Powell, TJ Chase, those are guys obviously we've been able to see. T. Higgins on the field. Right. DeAndre Overton's getting more confident in what he's doing. But even a guy like J.C. Chalk, at tight end, being able to get more reps and go out and make some plays. I've definitely been able to see that. And also, we use bowl time to really work with that next group, with the guys that are on scout team. We stay after for another 20 minutes, let the varsity guys do some conditioning, go inside, and we keep that younger group out there. A guy like Chase Bryce, being able to get 20 minutes of individual and one-on-one time with Coach Streeter, I think over a month can really add up and put him a little bit further ahead whenever it's time for spring ball.
Going back to recruiting really quick, you could have 0 juniors turn pro, you could have 1, you could have 8. How do you handle that as far as, hey, we're going to go out maybe and chase these spots, or we're comfortable holding till next year?
The good thing is that's Coach Sweeney, Coach Streeter's problem. So I told Coach Streeter, I'm glad that's you and not me. But I think number one, it's about communication. And Coach Sweeney, there's not one staff meeting that we have throughout the entire fall where Coach Sweeney is not talking about our numbers. And he's holding our coaches accountable. It's easy as coaches, especially with the success that we've had as a team. It's easy to go out and find guys that want to come to Clemson, and Coach Sweeney is really he challenges our staff every day to be sure that we're very intentional to bring the best players that are the best fit at Clemson, and not just going out and trying to sign as many guys as we possibly can. And so there's definitely a lot of communication. There's constant talk. You have a lot of things that can change, and so I think it's having a plan and being able to go out and execute that plan. But Coach Sweeney is he's definitely not a coach that's going to go over-sign. He's going to be very careful. This is not a program that tries to run players off. And he wants every one of those juniors that want to come back, he wants them to have their spot. He's loyal to those guys and not to anybody in high school. So it's something we talk about a lot, and Coach Sweeney does a good job of managing that.
All set. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.